I'm going to talk about finding heart-based entrepreneurs. So I'm going to talk about two specific ways that I do this. So the first way is when I have someone in my mind, maybe they're on my chicken list or I'm afraid to approach them, and I have somebody on my mind that I think would be really amazing at dōTERRA, and I want to talk to them. So I'm going to give you a real life example. So I have a friend who's a naturopath, Dr. L. And so I had Dr. L over to my house for a cup of tea. And we caught up, and we do public speaking, so we run into each other once in a while. So she comes over to my house, and I had approached her a year ago about dōTERRA, and she said no. Basically, she's too busy. She's got other things going on. So I was swinging back around, and I was like, hey, I'm really, really doing dōTERRA right now. And here's the thing, I am currently expanding my business. I am looking for two key positions. You're articulate, you're well-spoken, you're already in a natural health. Out of all the people in the world that I can think of, there's nobody that I would love to work with more than you. And listen, if you say no to this, that's completely fine. It's 100% fine. But if you say yes, I promise that I'm going to lock arms with you. I'm going to show you the business. I'm going to show you everything that I know. I've been able to achieve success, and I will help do that for you too. So what would you like to do? Do you need to go home? Do you need to sleep on it? Do you need to talk to Mark? What would you like to do? And she said, I don't need to talk to Mark. I don't need to sleep on it. It's a yes. So that's what I do when I'm pursuing somebody. I bring them in and I tell them I've already figured out, how to do this. I've already achieved success. Now, in the beginning, I couldn't do that, because I hadn't achieved success, but I could come at them with all of my authenticity and say, you know what? I really, really want to do this. I'm doing this. I am so passionate about it. I'm as passionate about essential oils as I have all other areas of natural health. And if you want to do this with me, I want to do this with you. In the end of a class, I'm going to give you another real life example. I was over launching my friend Tracy, and Tracy lives in New Hampshire, about 3.5 hours from where I live. So at the end of a class, after I teach a great class and I book a class from a class, what I say at the end is I say, listen, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm here to launch Tracy. I live 3 hours away in Connecticut. I came all the way over here. And Tracy is locking arms with me. We are doing dōTERRA together as a business. Now, to be honest, this is a topic that I never used to talk about. I used to keep these classes all about the oils, and I never brought up the business opportunity. But then I was in Maryland, and somebody else on my team, she happens to be a minister, I was at a church, she stood up before the congregation and she said, you know what? The world is as in need of financial blessings as it is physical blessings, and that struck me. And dōTERRA has financially been so good to me that I decided that this is a piece that I'm going to talk about. So I am currently expanding my organization. That's why I'm here launching Tracy. Tracy is launching her organization. And this is what we do. The class that you just saw, this is what we do. I teach essential oils. And, because here's the thing, you guys, complaining on social media doesn't work. But what does work is getting money into the hands of heart-based entrepreneurs. I'm a blue diamond at dōTERRA, and I'm here to launch my friend Tracy. If this is at all interesting to you, if you think that you might want to have a conversation about this, I'm teaching over at Yoga Life tomorrow night. I'll be here all day tomorrow. I would love to set up an appointment with you and have a cup of tea and explore that. Explore whether it's right and appropriate for you or not. And if it is, I'm actually coming back here to New Hampshire next month, and I would love to teach a class for you or launch you. Again, no commitment. We're just going to have a cup of tea and explore whether or not that's right and appropriate. But again, what I found is getting money in the hands of heart-based entrepreneurs is where I'm at this year. I know that that's the only way that we're going to change the world. That is speaking from my heart. Use that. Do something that's right and appropriate for you, something similar. But surrounding myself with heart-based entrepreneurs has completely shifted my business. It attracts the kind of people that I want to be around. So if that works for you, if that seems like, yes, that's something that I definitely want to build into my business, I've been teaching this class. I've been teaching it to business builders. I did it on the gold panel here last year. I've been teaching this class to business builders, and they are loving it. In fact, I get emails whenever I teach this saying, I used that technique, I called somebody, I used it, I put my heart into it because that's where I'm at, that's how I feel. And within 24 hours, I had 2 business builders. So if this seems right and appropriate for you, I just felt like we needed a language to speak to people's heart. So try it out. Speak from your heart, and I promise you, your business will thrive.
Hi, my name is Spring Esteppe, and I'm going to talk to you about keeping the launch simple. So dōTERRA has done an amazing thing, and they've created this beautiful paperwork for us to be able to launch our businesses and be very successful with them. So the launch guide is a tool for you to use to propel you into the next level of business. The beautiful thing about the launch guide is that it's a step-by-step tool that helps you work the muscles that you've never worked before in your business. And I like to look at the launch guide as a piece of equipment that helps you make those muscles really strong, because a lot of us have never done the business of dōTERRA before. We've never done a network marketing. We've never done anything to be a business owner or to lead other people. So this launch guide is going to help you work those muscles and get really strong in the foundational stuff that you need to be successful in growing your business to the next level. The great thing about the launch guide is that it gives you a step-by-step foundation on how to launch people to elite, and that is really where the magic starts to happen, when people start to hit the rate of elite. One of my favorite things is that it gives you a schedule for success, and it helps people schedule their time so that they don't feel overwhelmed. And a really important thing about launching people to elite, and this really kind of breaks it down for you in the launch guide, is that it's a process. It doesn't have to be fast, and it doesn't have to be overwhelming. It can be very, very simple and very intentional, and it makes you successful in the end. If you haven't checked out the launch guide, be sure and get your hands on them. They're a great tool to help your young and budding leaders be successful in the business.
My name is David Ellis. I live in Montana. I'm from Idaho. I've been asked to speak to you guys today about the topic of why network marketing as a career, which I love. I could talk for hours. They gave me 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm gonna speak to you very frankly, and I'm gonna throw some specific ideas at you. But this really applies to everybody, because at some point in your life, you're in the pursuit of money, right? You're in the pursuit of a career, a job, some kind. We all are. So this is really applicable to everyone. So I want to answer the question first, and why network marketing as a career, and that's freedom. First and foremost is freedom. Now I'm going to talk to you about 4 different specific aspects of freedom, but it's freedom in general. The first thing is going to be financial freedom. The second thing is going to be business freedom. And for those of you that are currently in a business or operating your own business, this is going to be something that is extremely important for you. The third one is your time freedom. That's all we have, right? That's all we've been given here is time. And what you do with it is up to you. And the fourth thing that I'm going to talk with you about is influential freedom. And that one's going to be really fun. Okay, so the first thing, financial freedom. I grew up on a small community in central Idaho. I grew up on a cattle ranch. On our ranch, we had a house. And in this house, every once in a while, now, mind you, we didn't own the ranch. It was owned by a gentleman down in Texas. My dad just managed it. On this ranch, we had this little house that periodically would rent out to people. They knew it was there, and if somebody had somebody that they knew they needed a house, they'd come. My dad would rent it out to them, and they'd live in it for a period of time. What my little 7-year-old mind comprehended was I knew I could have won Price is Right, right? As a child, I always felt like, those of you that have ever watched Price is Right, I could have won Price is Right because I knew as a child what everything cost. Everything. It was more than we had. That's what everything cost, was more than we have. And so I knew from a very young age that having money created additional freedoms in your life. that I couldn't enjoy as a child because we simply didn't have enough money. So as a child, that's what everything cost, was more than we have. So as I tell you this idea of financial freedom, when I was 7 years old and my dad would go down, and all I remember is he'd walk into this house, and 5 minutes later he'd walk out with a wad of cash, typically in hundreds. $500 for them to stay in this house, and he'd put it on the dashboard. And I knew at that time that my parents made $1,000 a month. And they got a half a beef a year, and they got all their utilities and housing paid for. So I remember as a kid thinking, if I could make $2,000, I would be rolling. Now, fast forward, obviously that doesn't apply today, but as a kid, I remember watching my dad walk in there, and in 5 minutes, he walked out with half of what he made in an entire month. And it didn't take me long to compute this. I liked this 5-minute walk. How did you do that? And I remember him telling me, oh, son, well, they pay us to live there. And I remember thinking, they pay to live there. My dad doesn't do anything to that house. I mean, periodically when people move out, he'll go wash the carpets. I remember thinking, he just helped them move in. They pay him every month. Now, I didn't know what was called, but I knew that I wanted that in my life. I've come to now understand that it's residual income. It's the idea of doing the work one time and being paid for it over and over again infinitely. And that is what network marketing provides. Residual income is a way that you can work and you can do the work and you can create a relationship and you can provide a product, you can provide a service for someone that when they use it and they enjoy it and they continue to use it over and over again, you're going to continue to get paid forever. Now, that's why I love dōTERRA, is we have a product that everybody needs, that enhances everyone's life, and that you need from birth to death. And so our retention is extremely high because it's something that everyone needs and needs on a regular basis, and it's something that you can provide for them. And when you provide for them, they become your client forever. And when you create an income that continues forever, the value of that income is extremely high. Okay? And it creates all kinds of freedom in your life. Financial freedom gives you the freedom to do and go and be whatever you want to be. I've heard it said best, financial freedom and money simply is fuel on the flame of your character. If you're a good person, you can do tremendous things with more money. If you're a bad person, well, you can do tremendously bad things. So are you a good person? And if so, then get rid of all this worthiness stuff of should I have it, only bad people have. No, if you're a good person, you can do tremendous good in this world with money. And so go out and create a residual income that gives you the income stream to then be able to go and do. And that's what we'll talk about in a second. So the second one is business freedom. Now, for any of you that have ever owned your own business or run your own business, you know that there's certain parts of business that you really just don't look forward to, right? Payroll, accounting, staffing, hiring, firing, research and development of new products, marketing those products. The list goes on and on. If you own your own business, oftentimes you do all of those things. Well, the beautiful thing about network marketing is those things are all done on a corporate level. What I get to do is go out and share what I'm very passionate about and help people to find financial freedom and optimal health in their lives. I don't have to worry about the payroll. There's a check shows up in my account every single month. And all of the people that I work with get that sent from corporate. I don't have to worry about research and development. Dr. Hill has an amazing team of all these scientists and people that are way smarter than me that are out there every day striving to learn more and to develop better ways of bringing these products to us. I don't worry about that. I simply worry about sharing what I'm passionate about. So from a business standpoint, the business freedom that network marketing provides for you is unreal. And if you're currently in that situation where you're running your own business, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because it's oftentimes those are the things that keep you up at night. The things that you maybe got into the business for that you really enjoy, you get to do this much. And all all those other things take up so much of your time. So that's a great reason, business freedom, to be involved in network marketing. Now, the third thing that I mentioned, that's time freedom. And I'm here with my wife and my daughter, and I get to spend time with my family, with the people that I love the most. I create my schedule. Now, that doesn't mean I don't work. That just means that I get to be at the crossroads of what's most important for the people that are most important in my life. And you cannot put a price on that. It's impossible. Because what does it mean to the child for you to be there when they're in their important moment? What does it mean to them? So time freedom is an enormous reason why network marketing. Now, number 4, freedom of influence. Now that goes two ways, right? We always talk about your influence as a leader, of how you can influence others. But what network marketing provides for you is the ability to choose the people that influence you. Now, how many of you are in a job, working with coworkers, or you're next to this toxic individual that just dumps on you all day, that you can't wait to get away from? Or maybe there's a friend, right, that at work or in whatever you're doing, that you just really don't like that they're an influence in your life, but you can't get away from it. Well, network marketing allows you to choose the people that you work with. It allows you to choose the people that are most influential in your life. And as they say, that you become the sum total of the 5 most powerful influences in your life. That's a big decision of who you put around you. I get to choose. I get to choose who becomes an influence in my life and in my family's life. Who's going to be in our lives for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years? I get to choose that. Now, that's one influence. The other influence is my ability to influence. Through network marketing, I have the ability to work with some of the most amazing people on this planet. And then they go and they influence amazing people. And then they influence amazing people. And something that I can say or do or inspire can then be passed down. And my ability to influence for good is infinite in network marketing. And that's why I would encourage you, if you're looking at this from the standpoint of should I get involved in network marketing? You have a choice. You can go work the 9 to 5. You can go do the American dream, right, where you spend 40 years of your life working for someone, hoping that you get a chance to retire. Well, the statistics right now is 98% of those people. 98% of those retiring today are retiring dependent upon either Social Security, family, or charities. 2% are actually retiring independent. Well, just last year here in dōTERRA, 3,100 people. That's 3,100 people hit the rank of gold. Average income for a gold is $4,800 a month. That's retirement level income for most of America. 3,100 people here in dōTERRA hit the rank of gold. Over 5,500 people hit gold and above, which is even significantly more income. That's just last year. So, is network marketing, does it work? Well, quite simply, look at the statistics. Here in America right now, 80% of women here in America who make $100,000 or more do it in network marketing. The current global sales for network marketing in the world, $178 billion, which is more than organic food industry, the music industry, the movie industry combined. Does it work? It's working all over the world. There's over 103 million distributors in the network marketing industry in the world. And what's interesting is 20% of all millionaires in the world, 20% of them did it in network marketing. Does it work? Absolutely works. It's working every day. Every day more people are hitting ranks here in dōTERRA. Ranks that are creating not just a little bit, but significant money, which creates a significant difference in someone's life, which allows them to have financial freedom, business freedom, time freedom, and the freedom of the influences that they put into their life and the influences that they make. And I encourage you to step out there. If you're engaged in network marketing right now and you're engaged in dōTERRA, recommit to creating those freedoms in your life. And if you will do so, put in the time, put in the work, the opportunity is there, and it's never been greater than what we see right now today. Thank you for your time.
Hi, I am Paul Holmes. Today we're going to be speaking about the long haul and building resilience. What is resilience is a really good question. We all need to build this in order to be able to be successful and move forward. When you look up the word in the dictionary, you'll realize that it is the ability to adapt when you face challenges, trials, things in your life that can be a stress on you, whether it could be personal, financial, many different things, health-wise. It's the ability to bounce back and recover and move forward from that. How has this been key, and why is this key in the business that we are in? Many could say that when dōTERRA came along, it was at the wrong time, but actually for me personally and for my family, it probably was the right time. The reason is that in life, we often look for that perfect moment, and we don't realize that when we are in these situations or we think things are perfect, that we aren't necessarily open to change and necessarily look at ourselves honestly in the mirror. For us, when dōTERRA came along, there were a lot of trials, a lot of stresses, whether it was business, personal relationship, many other things, including health. The great thing about dōTERRA was that it afforded us the ability through dōTERRA, because of the products, because of sharing, to be able to take control of our situation and apply it to many of those areas that at the time were serious stress factors. The big thing when we're dealing with any type of conflict or trials in our life is we need to realize that we have the ability of choice. And in order to be able to really go the long haul and succeed and make sure that we are resilient enough to be able to get through some of these trials, we need to realize how powerful our choice is. Many people during times of stress and that, they end up giving that power away to others. When you realize how powerful and impactful your choice is, you actually realize that you yourself are equipped to be able to face many different trials, many different challenges. When we have choice, and speaking into that more, we realize that we don't get distracted, because there's a lot that is freeing when we are walking in our truth and the things that we've seen. So, for example, just on a personal level, when dōTERRA came along, from a business standpoint, I had literally just had a business that was facing either we file bankruptcy, we shut it down, what are the options? And the great thing was that I was able to not necessarily listen to third parties. I could take crucial and good advice, but I was able to choose for myself and my family that we needed to walk out of this, and we needed to walk out of it learning from previous mistakes. And again, that's just what's so empowering about this, is that no matter what you face, if you choose for yourself and you research for yourself and you walk in that truth, you actually become really a product of your environment and on how to walk out of that. And that is something that dōTERRA really does share, is being a product of the product. So just like we use the products in dōTERRA, we see their benefits, we see how they help us, we end up sharing that with other people. Some key points that could help you in closing with regards to equipping yourself to be successful and for the long haul, for the journey, whether it's this business or whether it's in your personal development and leadership life, is making sure that you equip yourself with some tools. The first thing I would say is surround yourself with the right people. We often surround ourselves with people that are not necessarily there for us. And by that I mean not people that we necessarily can have a good laugh with, or we can have a lot of fun with, or go out and have a social dinner with, But these are people that actually can look at us and they can look through everything and they can actually really hold us accountable to be the best that we can be. Secondly, I would say really invest in yourself. That is investing in your own health. Unless you are the best that you can be health-wise and rest-wise, you're not going to really be able to be helpful for anyone else, and you're certainly not going to be able to make the right decisions that you may need to make under stress. So the important thing is to make sure that you're giving yourself time to rest, time to regroup, time to heal, time to also invest in yourself through education, through reading a good book, or just meditating. Make sure that you give yourself that time so that you can recharge your batteries. Thirdly, and this is a difficult one, especially in businesses that involve such large communities and where we have to interact with people, but it really is, I think, vitally important, and that is to stay away from people that are toxic to us, to our energy levels. It is very hard because, you know, we want to be there for people, we want to be there to help people. But at the end of the day, we have to realize that we're on our journey, and our journey is there to inspire others. And in order to do that successfully, we have to make sure that we are not surrounding ourselves with people that take away the positive energy and the energy that makes us successful and allows us to be a launch pad for inspiration and hope. And then in closing, the last point would be know the power of your voice. Make sure that you are sharing what you've learned. Make sure that you are speaking about it. Make sure that you if you're scared to do it on a huge public level, start by confiding in those that are closest to you, and then go from there. But realize that your story is important. Your story is there to be heard. And the amazing thing is that the more we share our story, the more we end up being surrounded by people that are like-minded and maybe on that same journey. And we can also, together, utilize everyone's energy to keep moving forward. And it's really a freeing fact, and it makes us realize that what we are doing is important, and it keeps us looking to the future always.
I always just envisioned being a stay-at-home mom, and I taught Pilates a few hours a week.
It was always like our goal to have Lynn stay at home, and the thought of me being able to work at a job that would allow us to have her stay home and spend time with the kids and was really appealing to us. So we always kind of worked towards that, and I thought I had kind of accomplished that.
At the time, I felt so excited about being a Pilates instructor, but it just didn't have quite the reward that I expected it to have, especially as the kids started to go to school, and I just had this sense that I had a greater purpose. When our daughter was a couple of years old, she wasn't sleeping very well, and I was exhausted, and my friend said, "Hey, are you willing to try something different? Are you open to trying something natural?" And this has really been working for me with my kids and helping them to sleep better. So my friend gave me a sample of an essential oil blend called Serenity. I remember just putting a drop, in the palm of my hand and rubbing my hands together and putting it on the bottom of my daughter's feet, and just thinking at the time, like, how is this gonna help her sleep, rubbing an oil on her feet? I was desperate. So I thought, I'll try it. It surprised me how well and how quickly it helped her to sleep, and it was enough for me to jump into the world of essential oils and explore it a little bit more. And so we were blown away, and it quickly became a lifestyle.
We've always kind of played by the rules of you have a job, you go to your job every day, you make an income, you work your way up the ladder, and then hopefully last until you retire. This has provided something very different for us, where we don't think about, okay, we need to make it to retirement now. We can kind of enjoy some of that flexibility already now with our family, which is great. And we're building something that's ours. It's something that we can build together.
This is a business that you can make your own. You don't have someone who is going to tell you that it has to be this way or it has to be that way. You can really bring your own unique personality into your business, and you can create something that feels authentic to you. The only limit to succeeding is how much time and energy you're willing to invest.
Whatever you put into it is what you can get out of it, and you can really create something that's true and tangible for the future.
I love that I'm able to work from home and be there for my kids and pick my kids up from school and go to yoga in the middle of the day if I want to. I'm also contributing to something greater than just myself and greater than just our family. And every day I connect with the women on my team who have become like family, and I'm able to just make a difference in their life. And so that's extremely fulfilling for me. It's also really given me a lot of happiness and a lot of freedom. And I love that the legacy I'm showing my kids is that you can be happy in life. Life is more than just a job that you work until you retire. You can create freedom, you can create happiness, and create a life of your dreams.